Want to speak real French from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at FrenchPod101.com.
Hi, welcome to Introduction to French. My name is Alicia, and I'm joined by...
Hi everyone, I'm Candice.
In this lesson, you'll learn the basics of French writing. French uses the exact same alphabet as English, the Latin alphabet, which consists of 26 letters.
Unlike English, however, French also uses a few accents that can be added to vowels and this other character known as the cedilla.
These characters aren't recognized as distinct letters in French, though.
Let's take a look at these accents in a bit more detail.
Accents are simply markers that appear on top of letters to indicate some extra information. What that information represents depends on the type of accent.
Accents may look intimidating at first, and their function may seem complicated, but in fact is quite simple. Once you understand them, they actually help you rather than confuse you. There are a total of 5 accents in French, 4 of which appear over vowels, and 1 for the letter C. The acute accent, the grave accent, the circumflex, the diaresis, and the cedilla.
Not all accents can be used with all vowels, so only certain accents will appear over certain letters. The acute accent, for example, can only appear over the letter E.
Et.
It looks like a rising diagonal line going from left to right. You'll never see this accent used with any other letter in French. The acute accent indicates that you must pronounce the E as follows.
Et. Et.
It sounds like the E in hey.
Appelle, appeler, chante, chanter.
So whenever you see this accent, pronounce the E as follows.
Et.
Next is the grave accent. It looks like a falling diagonal line going from left to right. This accent can only appear over the letters A, E, and U. This accent helps distinguish between words that would otherwise be spelled the same. For example,
A and A, ou and ou.
when it appears over the letter E, however, it indicates that you must pronounce it as follows.
Et.
It sounds like the E in bête.
Mère, frère.
Next is the circumflex accent. It looks like a little rooftop. It's used to indicate a change in pronunciation and to distinguish words that would otherwise be spelled the same. The circumflex appears over all vowels. An E with a circumflex accent on top is pronounced exactly the same way as the previous grave accented E.
Et.
Like the E in bête.
Pêche, fête.
An A with a circumflex accent on top is pronounced
A.
It sounds like the A in father.
Pâte, hâte, château.
An I with a circumflex accent on top does not affect the pronunciation of a word. It exists merely due to historic purposes relating to a word.
Naître, abîme, maître.
And like I, a U with a circumflex accent does not influence the pronunciation of a word. However, it is sometimes used to distinguish words that would otherwise be identical.
Sur, du.
The next accent is the diaresis. It looks like 2 small dots, and it can appear over the letters E, I, U, and Y in French. Whenever this accent appears above a letter, it indicates that you must pronounce this letter separately from the preceding syllable. For example,
Naïve, Noël, maïs.
the cedilla is a C with a special hook underneath.
The function of the cedilla is simple. It changes the pronunciation of the letter C from a K to an S sound.
So ordinarily, a French C would be pronounced,
Cassé,
but a cedilla would be pronounced
ça.
like an S sound. Like English, French capitalizes the first letter at the beginning of a sentence.
Je mange du pain.
Unlike English, however, there are a number of words which are not capitalized in French. The personal pronoun for I is capitalized in English, but not in French.
Il pense que je suis bête.
For example, days of the week are capitalized in English, but not in French.
Lundi, mardi, mercredi.
Months of the year aren't capitalized either.
Janvier, février, mars.
Nor are languages.
Le français, l'anglais, le russe.
Consider the following example.
Le 14 juillet, c'est la fête nationale française.
Notice how July and French are not capitalized.
J'apprends l'espagnol.
I is capitalized here because it's the first letter at the beginning of a sentence, but Spanish isn't.
There are some more capitalization rules, but those are the most common ones you'll encounter.
Well done! Let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what we've learned. In this lesson, you learned that French uses the same Latin alphabet as English, consisting of 26 letters. Additionally, there's also the acute accent, grave accent, circumflex, diaresis, and cedilla, which are used to accentuate certain letters. You also learned that I, days, months, and languages aren't capitalized in French. In the next lesson, you'll be entering French Boot Camp, where you'll learn beginner phrases to get you speaking French right away. See you in the next lesson. Bye!
Bye!